The Manor grounds. Scholar and adventurer Abelia Prem abandoned her stately home 10 years ago, and now the servants and caretakers of the place have left as well. Rumor has it Ms. Prem was a woman of great wealth and had a particular interest in plants and statuary. The company has come into possession of an illustration which functions as a map of her property. A group of treasure hunters has arrived to take a look around and report back what they find. The burdens is 2. You have to pay 2 burdens before you leave the incursion or before the session ends. And with all that said, I will tell you that it's the middle of the day. It's a bright, sunny day. You have gone out to this property, this abandoned property, and it's a quite lush, large estate. Beautiful copses of trees. The grounds are a little overgrown, but you can tell that they were probably well maintained at one time. And you're entering from the left side of the map. You'll notice a kind of a little, kind of the lower left. There's like a little, little path there. That's kind of where you're coming in from. And I will tell you that you can see the manor house in the distance. And there's some from a high vantage point, you can see also a few of the points on the map as well. You can search anywhere you'd like. You just have to tell me where on the map you want to go. It's all within easy walking distance. And you can split up if you wish. You can stay together. There's no order that any of this has to be done. Your set goal is to explore the manor grounds. And so as we see you all arrive, the sun warm in the sky, a bright, cloudless sky. Let's just paint the scene really quickly. Kind of picking up what I said earlier, how can we tell this used to be a very well-maintained country estate? Everyone gets to answer.
I think beneath the undergrowth and overgrowth, there are signs that this was once a very well manicured garden, but it's gone wild.
I think even amongst the footpaths and whatnots, that the pieces of gravel still remain of like being like bits of like crystalline shards, quartz, the cheap crystal, but crystal nonetheless.
An extravagant expense, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
I think you see that as you're looking out over the garden, everywhere is still in bloom. It was like thought of so that seasonally there would always be flowers blooming in every part of the garden.
Fantastic. Well, I want to just go around the table and see what everyone's interested in doing. Like I said, you can go anywhere on the map you'd like. It's all within easy walking distance. If you encounter anything along the way, I'll tell you. But I'm just going to go around the table. I'll start with Vaughn. You are muted, Vaughn.
Sorry, I think Vorten's going to approach this in a methodical fashion. And it looks like the first thing we're coming to is some kind of little summer house or
Gazebo.
Little
gazebo.
gazebo
That's the word
pagoda
I'm struggling to
situation.
find. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and see if
Mhm.
there's anything moving there or see how
Asbel,
overgrown it
Abeha,
looks.
you can go with Vaughn or you can go do something else, Abeha.
Definitely would keep together for now, unless like there was some sort of urgency to go elsewhere.
Asbel?
It seems like this is a good place to start. I mean, we're all here sort of in the same direction. We might branch off in a little bit.
You arrived at like a sort of roughly circular clearing in this sort of wooded, this sort of wooded grounds. And you see a couple of things. First, there is this sort of like structure that you see on your illustration. It does look like a little gazebo, but it's not open to the air. It's like a closed structure. And kind of at the base of it, there are four large bee skeps, which are artificial beehives woven out of grass. Vaughn, what do you do?
I think I'm going to take a look at those beehives and make sure we're not about to get stung by something horrifying.
Indeed. You are certainly pressing forward in pursuit of your goal. Go ahead and do a hunt roll. I will ask questions and then you can do a hunt roll.
Yeah, I don't know that I have any skills that will help with that, but I do.
Do you have any questions, though?
Yeah, I'm really primarily looking to see if there's, noise or signs of life or, creatures inhabiting these hives.
You've got your first die. You can get a second die if you have a skill or piece of equipment that would apply.
Can't use weapons for this, right? It would have to be.
Unless you describe how you use weapons. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking I could kind of poke at the hive with my dueling
Sure.
saber.
Yeah,
And
that works for me.
don't want to use my hands if I can avoid it.
Go ahead and roll 2 dice.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm getting physical dice out here and I should be getting the dice roller.
While Vaughn's getting the die roller up, Asbel, what are you doing? You're muted.
You were muted.
Yep. I think that these skeps, is that what you called them?
Skeps, yeah. They're like artificial beehives. Yeah.
Do you said they were kind of large? Do they seem large for beehives, or do they seem large just kind of in general, if that makes sense?
They're
like
pretty
if these
big.
are like
They're like the size of like a beanbag chair.
Oh, okay. But so like bees are probably normal sized bees. I think she ventures a guess, hopefully.
Yeah. You can make the hunt roll. You're asking questions, so you got your first light die.
Sure. Could I? No, I think I'll just do the roll as is. Never mind. Don't need to mark anything.
So 1 die.
Nice.
So far, we have a 2 and a 3 on the table. This is not going great, but that's okay. There's plenty more opportunities to earn hunt tokens. Obeha, what are you doing?
I'm not really caring much about the bees because the bees are just bees are small, regular bees. There's nothing to learn from them nor to gain treasure from. But however, this gazebo, that's a little bit more important. It could be like a shed of some sort. So like I want to see if like there's like a doorway or something.
Yeah, you can go ahead and ask your questions and make a hunt roll.
Is there like anything like sort of like any sort of symbols or anything like in the design of it that would strike me as unusual?
Go ahead and you get your first light die. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Since I'm asking about symbols, could I get a second light die for that?
Sure, I'll give you that. Yeah.
Get a token.
Fantastic. You got a 5. You get a token, but you encounter something terrible. Go ahead and take your token. The thing you're going to discover that's terrible is as you circle around, you're looking for. You don't notice anything on the on the exterior of the shed that would indicate what it is. You initially see like near the top what looks to be symbols, but it's actually just a kind of decorative lattice work near the top, and it means nothing. But on the other side of the little kind of storage facility or whatever this thing is, there's a body. There's a person, it's a fairly fresh body, and it's covered in thousands of bee stings.
Oh no.
And right around the time you're discovering that, this is right when
It-
Vaunt accidentally pierces one of the skeps with his rapier, and bees begin flooding out of this thing, flooding out in their thousands. They are pouring out. Not all bees are harmless honeybees. Some bees are dangerous bees. And the area is now swarmed with them. Asbel and Vaunt, because you both got kind of poor hunt rolls, I'm going to put you both in danger here. One of you can make a plan to avoid this situation, and the other can do a help roll to help that person if needed. But Vaughn, since you got the lowest roll, I just want to know like what you're doing. Like, how do you react?
Yeah, this is exactly what Vaughn wanted to not happen. So I think it's kind of spring back and hope that he has some protection in the form of the imp that swells around him.
Yeah,
Be like,
that may be the case. I'm curious, Asbel, once you realize what's about to happen, what do you do?
I feel like the correct answer is run.
I think that's probably the right answer too. Um, what direction do you run in, Asbel?
Um, based off of kind of looking at the map, things she wanted to look at, I think she wants to go check out this little structure by the lake over here, or there's like a little broken down maybe boathouse. So she's just running northeast. She's gonna go up past this pond with a statue in it and keep running towards the bigger sort of, I guess, lake, guessed off the size.
Where the bridge is, just to the right of the bridge.
Yeah, to the right of the bridge, there's like a little building here. Yeah.
Asbel's running. Vaunt, what are you doing?
just kind of muttering under my breath to try and muster some protection from this swarm of bees. I don't think you can outrun bees, so
Well, I guess we're gonna find out. So I'm gonna give you the hunt roll. Do you have the text of the hunt roll in front of you, Rob?
Do you mean risk roll?
Or the risk roll, I'm sorry.
couldn't get it. Probably.
I'll drop it in here. Here you go. I think this is the hunt roll. That might be the contest.
I have
roll.
it, yeah.
That's it, yeah.
When you
yeah.
attempt a risky task, say what you hope will happen and ask the GM and the other players what could possibly go wrong. What I'm hoping will happen is that I am able to conjure some demonic protection from swarms of bees. That's my usual tactic to rely on to keep me safe.
I think what could go wrong is demons are notoriously unreliable entities. And I think they actually make the bees worse somehow.
Bees aren't affected by magic. They're just little insects,
They're just
and
bees.
there's just too many.
They care nothing for your dark arts. Any other ideas for what could go wrong? These both feel like really terrible ideas, but yeah.
I think you might just summon more bees, like demon bees, demon wasps.
Just open up like some hell mouth of bees. Okay, this is what doing magic, invoking dark forces. When you should probably just be running is always fun. So let's do it. Keep moving us through the roll here, Rob.
Take a light die if the task is something you are skilled at because of your occupational background. I would make an argument for the skill of demons, given the particular approach.
Sure.
And then I can take a light die for accepting a devil's bargain, if anyone has one.
I think the swarm will be obeyed, like they'll be like made safe, or regardless what happens, either the swarm is like is contained or not, but one single bee will grow to monstrous size and remain a problem.
no matter what, these bees are the servant of the mother of millions.
I think no matter what, um, you will summon a small imp that will harry you.
Font, thoughts?
Those are all good. I'm going to say the bees are the servant of the mother of millions.
Intriguing.
That's a good thread to pull on.
I think so too. You've got 2 light dice. I think you have to do a dark die here, right?
All right, that sounds reasonable. That's a 4 light.
4 light. I'll tell you the complication. The complication is going to be that this is kind of piggybacking with the devil's bargain. You will be the demon will keep the bees at bay. That will happen. You succeed in that sense. But enough of the bees will be able to sting your hand to create essentially like a symbol on your hand marking you as basically like a problem for the mother of millions.
That sounds intriguing. Let's do it.
Fantastic. This is a chance to give us, this is an opportunity to show us what you're all about, Vaughn. So what do you look like?
Yeah.
What does this look like? What's happening here?
So Vaughn is a kind of tall, stiff-backed man with a somewhat military bearing, but his what was once a uniform coat has seen better days, and I think we see him as he prods at this hive, not realizing that there is the low hum of the bees there. As they start to pour out, he just springs back and mutters something in some kind of not an incantation, but something in a strange language, and this shadowy shape just starts to flicker around him as he kind of almost curls into a ball on the ground. And yeah, the bees are just, I don't know if they're maybe dropping from the sky as this thing hits them at lightning speed. But yeah, some of it can't prevent every sting, and they have marked him.
Yeah, you have stings on your hand which make you marked by the mother of millions. Take that as a condition. Much of that skep is dead and or just dispersed, leaving that one skep open, I suppose. Obeha, you hear that commotion, but you were on the other side of this shed. What are you doing right now? And you also saw Asbel run.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't run for bees. Bees will chase after you if you run.
These did not. These went after Vaught and paid a prize.
Well, because intelligent bees. That's a little concerning. But it's not my problem because I did not anger the bees.
Indeed.
I think I'm just gonna be sort of like going over like this body. Like I know like they obviously have like stings on them and died by bees. But what's on them? What are they wearing?
Make a hunt roll.
And that is probably just going to be 1 light die because I really don't have any relevant skills in this case. In terms of the questions, obvious what's on them.
Yeah.
2.
Well, we'll come back to this in a moment, but I will tell you, as you begin messing with the body, you feel the skin of the body vibrating. There's a slight vibration underneath the flesh. Asbel, you ran. And by the time you stop to catch your breath, You are very nearly there. You kind of run past the bridge that goes over this little pond. And at the edge of this pond, there is what appears to be it's a like a ruined shrine, essentially.
Oh.
The
Um,
the building is the shrine is kind of partially submerged in the water. There's a stone foundation that is kind of sitting just above the water level. What do you do?
um, so I think she kind of looks around at the general surroundings and she's trying to decide if she considers this the forest or not. And she goes, better safe than sorry. And kind of looking around, I think she starts trying to clear away the shrine. Like if there's like plants growing on top of it or something,
Mm,
she starts clearing those away.
mm,
Um, because she feels the weight of her gash from the witch
mm.
as she sees this ruined shrine.
Tell us more. We have not seen you yet in a session, so tell us
Sure.
about Asbel. What do we see? What's your deal?
As Asbel is a tall, broad woman. She's wearing sort of like a simple linen dress with a really fine silver like chainmail shirt on top of it. And she has wild curls that have been braided. And in it, you can see there are like dried flowers that she has woven into it. Um, and her, what's the word? Her drive is to break the gash from the Witch of Navask,
Mm,
which causes her to um, tend to any shrine she encounters in Calder.
mm. Interesting. I love it. Well, you're here at a
Yeah,
shrine.
I was like, oh, a shrine, perfect.
How convenient. Um, yeah, there's this ruined shrine. You are conforming to the gesh that was placed on you, and you can ask questions as you do so if you want to get a hunt roll.
Can I try and determine like, is this to a saint or maybe a local god?
Yeah, make a
Who
roll.
this shrine? Yeah,
Yeah.
um, gonna be a hunt roll. And could I maybe take an extra light die for rituals or interpretation? Maybe.
I'll take that. Yeah, I think they both.
Okay,
I think you can get the second die there.
cool. A 5.
Take your token. In this shrine, the northwest and south walls are in ruins, but the east wall is intact. It has 3 symmetrically placed windows, one of which is carved in a stylized semblance of the sun. This indicates one of 2 things. Either this was a shrine to St. Ara the Torchbearer, or if it's an older god and not saint worship, it is just perhaps some pagan sun god of some sort. It's hard to tell just from that. I will tell you that as you're kind of looking around and clearing things, behind the single standing wall is a large patch of tall, gray brown weeds. And among the weeds is a set of skeletal remains. Someone who's been dead for quite some time in the tall grass. We'll come back to this in a moment. Font, what are you doing right now?
I think standing up to brush himself off and cursing and looking at this. I think he recognizes that this appears to be some kind of symbol on his hand, he's pretty familiar with, and one with that kind of marking and wondering what it could mean or what it portends. But for now, he'll join Abelia in investigating this building, this structure.
Well,
It's,
before you can get around the other side of the building,
oh,
Obeha,
Mhm.
you feel this buzzing underneath the skin of this body that's been stabbed many, many times. The body, the head sort of lolls to the side, and the jaw opens up, falls open kind of wide, and it falls really wide and slack, like the jawbone is disconnected, making just a sort of irregular shaped hole there. The tongue of the thing, of the body, is swollen and fat and black. And that's when something really terrible happens. There's a convulsion in the body, and a spattering of white larva sprays out of the body. You wear a mask, correct?
Yes, consistently.
It
It's a
spatters
plain.
harmlessly against the mask. What do you do?
Does it seem to be like like the bees are just moving about in the sort of corpse?
You don't see any bees.
Yep.
The corpse just belched as if it was like an
Maggots.
involuntary reaction, like maggots, or
Okay.
like little like white like larvae or something.
Yeah. Abea's just assuming they're bees because there's bees in the area.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I'm not touching that. So
You'll be
I
joined
think
by
I think
Vaunt at this point.
yeah, I think as like Abeja is like wiping like any like remaining maggots or that got onto their clothes off. But you see Abeja.
Mm.
Ah, what did you find?
Mhm. Infestation, a nest of sorts. And I point towards the corpse. Best not to get too close, lest it sort of infests you next.
Those damned bees. I will be more careful. Where did Asbel get to?
Running off in that direction. Thankfully, not screaming, so at least didn't attract any more unwanted attention.
This little building does have a door.
As I look at this, oh yeah, you said the body was all stung, right?
Mhm.
Mm. I will take a. I will. I'm going to listen at the door, given we have infestations.
Okay.
I
Do you have any
to hear
questions?
if there's. Yeah, I want to know if there's. Well, can I hear anything moving inside?
Make a hunt roll.
I feel like I don't really have any skills that will help here. So I'm just going to make a flat hunt roll, and that's a 3.
You don't hear anything on the inside of the building. But as you are listening, your eye line has changed and you're looking down kind of, I would say, like near the tree line to the southwest of the building, near where you sort of enter this area. You'll see what appears to be a marble statue of a knight standing there. And the statue is posed, brandishing its weapon, and it just happens to be pointing at you. But otherwise, there's no sound coming from inside the building. Asbel, what are you doing?
I think not getting too close, but she begins to inch closer. Can I see what killed the skeleton?
Make the hunt roll.
A 4.
Take a token. The skeleton is pretty far decayed. There's no obvious sign of like cracked bones or a skull or anything like that. But you will notice something, a bit of gold glimmer near the skull, just underneath. There's like a little bit of mucky water there, right? You see a little glimmer of gold there. You will have to put your hand down in it, into the silt, to fetch whatever it is. Do you?
I think she considers it for a second and lets out a breath, and then we'll try to grab it quickly.
Describe it. What do you do?
She's kind of like she's kind of gotten to the side of the body, and she reaches down, and just like um just really quickly and deftly, her hand like snakes out and tries to grab it
Hmm.
and pull back.
You get it. You pull out what is a very fine gold amulet on a chain. It's worth 1 gold. You can
Okay.
add it to found equipment and make a note that it's worth 1 gold.
Okay. Thank you.
Font, what are you doing right now after you investigate the door?
I'll open it since I didn't hear anything in there. The statue can wait.
Yeah, inside, straight away, there's kind of like nothing in there except for a single beekeeper's suit hanging from a rack. And it's one of those like old-timey medieval beekeeper's suit with the wicker mask, and all that.
I I want to take a look at that and see if there's anything inside it.
I'm not going to make you roll here. It's it's perfectly in good shape. It seems very functional
Mm,
and safe.
well, this might have been useful.
Might have been.
Might have been. Unless you want to go digging around in the hive some more, but I don't think that the bees care much for treasure.
One would imagine not.
Mhm. I think I'm gonna head in the direction of where Asbel ran off to.
Yeah. So you can kind of head up. You will walk past this little pond to your left that, per the illustration, you see it appears to be like a woman bathing in the pond, just like in the illustration, but it is in fact a statue. You can tell as you get a little closer. And you can keep going and you reach the bridge. Asbel, what does Obeha find as Obeha arrives?
I think that you see Asbel, she is getting up from a kneeling position. She had, or not maybe kneeling, but like kind of squatting. She's
Uh-huh.
almost said like a bit of a thank you to the skeleton that she totally just robbed from, and kind of wipes off the front of her dress, and her hand kind of goes quickly to her bag before she looks up and sees you. Says, found a shrine to some maybe uh saint of the sun,
Mhm.
or perhaps something older.
Interesting. It seems as though this place really has been abandoned for a very long time, but, well, some people still want to come here.
It is interesting. I did find some skeletal remains, which makes me think
Mm.
it's been there for a while. Anything over by the bees?
beekeeping materials. It's just bees.
That makes sense.
Vaughn, what are you doing right now?
I think Vaughn stopped on the way to look at this statue of the woman bathing in the pond and see if, well, if I mean, there's trickery afoot here, clearly, or potentially there is. And the body we found had not been dead so very long.
Yeah. Ask your
I want to see
questions.
if,
Yeah.
yeah, I want to know if this, well, I mean, let's be honest, we're after treasure. I'm curious if there's anything valuable to be prized from this statue, and if not that, whether it's really is a statue and like it's not going to like animate and come after us.
Right. Yeah. Go ahead and make a hunt roll. You get one light die for asking the question, and a second die if you have a skill or piece of equipment that will help you.
I'm curious. Well, I have the skill of law, and I'm wondering if I can kind of identify what the statue represents.
Sure.
If this is a mythological figure,
Hmm.
anything of that, or tied into stories about the sisters or something like that.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a 2 die hunt roll.
That's a 5.
Take your token. No. It's just a very artfully, realistically rendered statue of a nude woman bathing in the pond. The pond's only a few feet deep. You could certainly wade out to it if you wanted to check it in more detail, but from just a glance, there's nothing special or symbolic about it. I will tell you though, as you perhaps glance back, glance around, that marble statue seems
Still
just a
pointing at me, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. Even though you are not in the exact same spot you were in, the sword is definitely still pointing at you.
Mm,
What do you do?
I will give it a narrow-eyed glance, but I'm going to come to that next. I would like to wade out toward this statue because, if it's lucky or anything like that, people cast coins into such
Yeah.
ponds.
You pick up with Astel and
So
Obeha. What are the two of you doing right now?
Seeing as Vaughn has not arrived with me, I think Oveha just sighs. All right, well, Vaughn has wandered off, I guess. Great job. Everyone sticking together.
I mean, you can see Vaunt about to
Yeah.
wade into the pond over there. It's not that far away.
Yeah, I think Oveha's just saying this because it's like, oh, we'll stick together while investigating this place. And then we immediately separated because of bees, and then Vaughn just sort of wandered off to like poke at the naked lady statue.
Yeah, I think Aswell picks up on the vibe and goes, should we probably support Vaunt as he gallivants into the water?
Sure, I hope he's doing something reasonable.
Hmm.
Going
Hope it's
over
not
to
too
the
deep.
You
pond.
can
like
walk over to the
50
pond,
deep.
certainly.
Mhm.
Vaunt, you're just wading into the water. What are you doing?
yeah, wading in the water, I want to see if I can see if there's anything around the base of the statue.
Yeah,
If
make your
anyone's
roll.
like a hunt roll again.
Yeah.
Um, hmm. Mhm. Skills that would be useful. That's just 4.
Hmm.
Another token.
You don't see any glimmers under near the base of the statue. You don't necessarily. I mean, the water's a little mucky, so you really can't see anything down there, unless maybe you're right on top of it. But you definitely feel something swim past your leg.
Hmm.
What do you do?
Did it feel bigger than I would expect, like a pond fish to be?
No.
Okay. Doesn't seem too concerning then. I
Asbel,
would.
Obeha, you can be at the small pond at short order. You see Vaunt pausing, clearly feeling something down underneath the water. Vaunt's near the statue, kind of in the middle of the pond. What are the two of you doing?
I think I call out to Vaughn. What do you see over there that caught your attention that you were wading through the pond?
I thought it possible that folk once may have cast coins into such a pond to honor this lady. I think there may be fish in the pond, but no items of value that I can see. This, do you see that statue there, Obeya?
Yes, it's a garden statue of a private house. So not much for tossing coins into.
Not
That's
that
more
statue.
for
The knight over yonder that points at me. It was pointing at me when I stood over
In,
there.
indeed, Obeha, there is a marble statue of a knight pointing its sword, maybe in Vaughn's direction. It's in the general direction that you are all in right now, and it's kind of standing right next to the beehives.
yeah. I don't think it's anything to be really concerned with. You know, those typical fairy tales about knights saving damsels in distress and whatnot.
I tell you, it moved, Obeya.
It was definitely not next to the beehives when you first got there.
Oh, oh! I thought it was like in like the direction. Oh,
Hmm.
that's okay. I see what you mean. Oh no. Hmm. I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure whether or not it's just that generally doesn't like us being here because we're a little bit of intruders, or it has something against you in particular, Vaunt.
As we're
Right.
kind of standing here, and Vaunt is talking about the statue, and seems to be perturbed by it. I think Asbel casts a look over her shoulder. It- what's up with the statue behind us? It looks like it's a really big one on top of a pile.
Yeah, indeed. It's a pretty big statue for one thing, and it is a depiction of it's a depiction of something that would be very common in the world, commonly known. Goes by many names: the Green Man, the Man of the Woods, the Old Man of the Woods. It's a depiction of that entity, quite big, like 12 feet tall. That's hunched over. Like it was standing, it'd be much bigger. But it's posed, hunched, crouched upon a raised bed of stones. That's just what you see at a glance, which you would have noticed that without even trying. So, yeah, what do you do then?
Obeha, if these statues are moving, I am concerned about being sort of between three of them, one of them being a very large one.
Mhm. All right. Well, since it seems that they're not moving exceptionally fast, I'll start preparing some rituals to deal with it because, well, they're probably cursed or magicked to do it, so I could probably unravel it. Yeah, probably place it on something else.
So, Beha, you're making magical
Yep,
preparations right
yep.
now.
Magical preparations.
Vaughn, what are you doing right now?
I think I might. I want to move and see, move again, walk kind of almost like I'm making part of a circle of this pointing statue and see if it continues to point at me or if it's pointing at the others as as well, or instead, or if perhaps it was just a trick of the light that I fell for in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, you can make a hunt roll.
Trickery is
Oh,
a
sure.
skill I have.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see what that gets me. 5 again.
Obeha is, I'm assuming, kind of like on the ground preparing things.
Yeah, I've about 300 feet of twine, and like I am unraveling and re-raveling it in a way to prepare for unraveling it when the statue gets
Indeed.
close enough.
Asbel, you're kind of looking around generally, noticing the various statues. Vaughn, you look up and the Marvel Knight statue's not there anymore.
Well, did either of you see where that statue went?
I was preparing spells as well.
I was unfortunately looking at the other statues. Can we see
Mr.
it somewhere else, Jason?
Make a hunt roll, Asbel.
Okay.
You've asked your question.
Mhm.
Do you have any other skills or equipment that will help you?
Oh. Simply no.
Roll your die.
Yep. Okay. A 3.
No, you don't see it anywhere. No one will see it anywhere.
Oh God.
So, what's everyone doing now?
Hmm.
Well, Obeha has prepared an instance of unravel for a statue that is no longer visible. Might be invisible. I don't know.
Vaughn, are you still hanging out in the pond?
No, I'm getting out of the
soaked.
pond. I'm getting out of the pond. I think I'll move towards the others and say, Asbel, what was in the building yonder that you?
It was a shrine, relatively ruined at this point, and a skeleton there as well, but nothing really of value.
I will tell you that you will also see beyond, very nearby, beyond the statue of the Green Man, there's what appears to be like a large atrium just to the north of the bigger pond.
Oh, that, yeah, that's the one I thought he was at.
No,
She
no,
was
no.
at
Oh
before.
No,
no.
they're at
Okay.
they're at the little structure to the right of that pond.
It's like right on the coast of the pond.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I think we should proceed, but be on your guard.
I'm hold a little bit of twine up. I am ready.
Unravel is prepared. Indeed.
Yeah, I'm going to move toward that building.
if we're moving towards the atrium, I might suggest that we go over the bridge. That way we know if anyone's approaching us and we can avoid the green man, whom is tall.
That's a pretty good idea.
You can take the bridge, certainly. It's a vine-covered bridge, an arched stone bridge that spans the larger pond. Is everyone going on the bridge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather go there than near that big statue.
Who's first?
I'll go first since I suggested it. I'll be the guinea pig.
By crossing the bridge, you are pressing ever deeper in pursuit of the goal of exploring the manor grounds. If you have questions as you cross the bridge, you can ask them.
does the bridge look like it will hold our weight?
Make your hunt roll.
Okay. Um, could I use, so I have a snarled staff as one of my weapons. Could I use it to kind of poke in front of me?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. So that's 2 1s.
And you lose all your tokens as well. Did you have
Yep.
you had 2 tokens too? That sucks.
I had 2 tokens. Yep.
Asbel, the bridge is very solid, actually. Very solid stone bridge. Crossing it together is no trouble whatsoever. As you sort of step on it, you become immediately aware of some tightening around your ankles. Indeed, there is some kind of animated vine-like plant rapidly coiling around your boot or whatever footwear you wear. And it's very strong and trying to pull you off the bridge into the pond. What do you do?
Can I fire a bolt of arcane energy at it?
Is this a ritual that you have?
This is one of my weapons. It's
Oh,
a
it's one of your
bolt of
weapons.
arcane energy.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, yeah. You certainly can. You can definitely take it to. Actually, this can be combated. This essentially, the genesis of this thing is a large pulsating clump near the bottom underneath the bridge, and its vines have wrapped up along the bridge and are grabbing you. You can certainly combat it with your arcane bolt. It would be an endurance. I think I made a note here. 1 second. Let me grab it. It's an endurance 8, so you'd have to go a couple rounds with it. But obviously, your companions can help you as well. You just have to say how you're exposed to danger. I think it's pretty obvious how you're exposed to danger, Asbel.
Sure.
And roll weak point, please.
Okay. Okay. Big point is a 1.
Okay. Anybody else joining the fray? Once you see what's happening.
Yes.
Presumably, yeah. I'm weak because we're on the bridge together, and the vines just cover the entire bridge. Like
Yeah.
there's more of it than
can
us.
it can reach you all over. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think I'm weak because I have at least half an eye open for that statue that's stalking us.
Indeed. Yeah. Very wise. Abeha got a 3. Vaunt got a 4. You have to destroy this sort of like clump in the water. Let's get a combat 3 on the table. You can go ahead and roll it, Asbel.
Okay.
Looking for 8 total. Look at that.
Okay.
Boxcars plus a 1, regrettably, for Asbel. But you will destroy the thing. Let's begin the combat. Everybody gets a chance to narrate some of it. Go ahead, Asbel.
I think as she feels it tighten around her, it starts to pull her, and almost reflexively, she raises that staff she was kind of tapping with, and you see this like bright blue flame just lance out of it and pierce at that the like cluster.
Yeah, keep it going, Abeha.
I think some of the vines are starting to encircle me as well. And I think like because of the end of my staff, it has like sharpened point so I can stick it in the ground. I just keep on stabbing at like the vines and just, I think it just sort of like twinges in pain as like it's getting stabbed.
Vaunt, go ahead and finish it off.
I think Bond stands in the center of the bridge and just, without getting anywhere close to this thing, just sends his imp to deal with it. And the The imp swirls around this thing, tearing shreds out of it.
And eventually it's dead. Now, Asbel, the way this creature attacks, you actually don't take any ruin on that hit, nor do you need to mark armor. Had it not survived this round, it would have been worse for you. So
Definitely.
but you're otherwise good. Vaughn,
Cool.
go ahead and roll a gold 8.
Ooh.
That is pretty good for gold 8. That's great. We're going to take a 5-minute break. You need to name this creature, and you need to decide what you are harvesting from it, and note all of that in the bestiary. I will see you all in 5. What are you harvesting from this creature? And who's taking what?
Yeah. We are harvesting seed pods, and just like the vine itself is a natural, nice fiber of it, we've decided the name of this creature is a prim creeper.
Fantastic. And that sounds great to me. Who's taking what? Well, you decide who's taking what amongst you. But,
Yeah, I'll be taking the seed pods.
Asbel, Vaughn, you taking anything from it?
Oh,
taking
I
the
think Vaughn's
fiber?
taking the fibers.
I'm taking the fibers.
Fantastic. It'll take a little bit to collect all that stuff. Asbel, what are you doing in the meantime while they're doing that?
I think that while they're doing that, she's just kind of looking out over this pond. There was obviously something swimming in the other lake. Is this like totally mossed over? Can you see into the pond at all?
It's make a hunt roll. Are you
Sure,
where are you looking
totally.
from? The bridge or from the bank?
Yeah, from the bridge.
Okay.
I guess.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Five.
Take your token. I will tell you that you don't see any. You can't really see to the bottom of the water. There is quite a lot of muck in the water, and just the leavings of the Prem Creeper. Is it Prim Creeper or Prem Creeper? Are you naming it after the woman whose manor it
Yes.
is? Oh, Prem.
Yes.
Prem Creeper.
Yeah.
With an E. You're looking at the Prem Creeper is kind of like its root system is kind of taken over a lot of it, and it's all just kind of mucky and gross. But since you are looking directly down from the bridge, I will tell you that it seems that the skeleton you found had a companion, a gentleman or lady companion, because you see another skeleton near the base of the bridge. What do you do?
Is it sort of tied up in the creeper vines?
No, it's actually not. It looks like
Okay.
something else got it, or
Interesting.
maybe the creeper vine gave
Moved
up on
on,
it a long time
sure.
ago. Yeah. But in any
Sure.
case, it's on
Is
the
it submerged?
no. It's actually kind of like kind of pressed up against the bank of where one of the supports of the bridge is. As well, you can go down there and check it out. Certainly.
I think, yeah, she will see the other two working and just say, "Oh, there's another body down here, another skeleton, I should say."
Is it evident what killed it?
From up on the bridge, it wasn't. I think we would need to get closer.
Jumping from the bridge?
It's not that high, and there's water. So
Okay.
Yeah.
it's more ornamental than anything. You don't even need the
Yeah.
bridge.
Sure.
I mean, yeah, I wasn't sure like if it's like, oh yeah, the water's not that deep and the person jumped from the bridge. It's
No,
like,
it's
oh, you
it's a
broke.
small ornamental bridge. There's nothing like
Mhm.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
If nobody else wants to, I'll go take a look at it, since I'm already wet from the other pond.
Oh, I think it's on the shore. It's like it's right at the edge of the water, right? Jason, you said it.
It's no, it's in the water, but
Oh,
it's pushed up against one of the bridge supports, like
Mm.
the pillars that hold it up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'll
But
wade to it and take a look.
it's all you.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can wade towards it.
I'm really interested if it has anything valuable on it.
Make a hunt roll and see.
Do I have anything useful to me? Not really. Here's where I lose all my hunt tokens, huh?
Might do.
Just spend them.
I got a 2. So I didn't lose
Oh,
them, but I did discover something terrible.
You can go ahead and um yeah, you how are you searching? What are you doing?
I think I'm just like wading a little bit into the water and getting to it, and then just if it still has any kind of clothing on or armor or anything like that, I'm just kind of poking at that and generally just investigating it with skeletons aren't dangerous,
Yeah,
usually.
yeah. You find several things. Um there is a beautiful, I would even go so far as to say masterwork rapier amongst uh the with the skeleton. It is maybe it could probably be cleaned up and used, but it's really more of like an art object, I would say. Whoever this person was probably a gentleman of means who got himself into some kind of trouble and is now dead underneath the bridge. But the rapier is quite valuable. You could almost certainly sell it back at camp or back to the company commanders or to some of the merchants who pass by for 2 gold. There's also what appears to be a really beautiful pewter snuff box, which is worth a gold. And there's even a pouch of silver worth a gold. This is quite a score
Mhm.
as you are looking at skeleton.
I think Bont has quite a smile on his face as he encounters whatever this terrible thing is.
Yeah, nothing terrible so far. Asbel, what are you doing as you see Vaunt kind of like rooting around?
you're muted.
Sorry about that. I think seeing that things are starting to wrap up here, she is considering how she doesn't want to cross the bridge again. But she'll say, um, shall we press on to the atrium? I think I'll scout out a little bit ahead of, and I think she'll try and walk past the green man. Obviously sticking closer to the pond, but maybe hopefully getting past him.
Yeah, you can reach the atrium, no trouble.
Sure.
What are you doing, Obeha?
Is Bond gonna
Vaunt,
share his treasure?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Vaunt, you're doing all this stuff,
Mhm.
and you're. I mentioned that the body is kind of like up against a kind of stone like support, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're there, and you're kind of you're finding all this great stuff, and standing underneath the bridge in water up to its knees is that marble knight statue,
Oh fuck.
and
I think Vaughn literally
it's
just
staring
gives a
at you,
start.
pointing the sword at you, accusing you, thief, robber of bodies. It's mere inches from you, in fact. What do you do?
I think Vaughn literally gives a yelp aloud as he's, just stuffing this treasure into his pockets and will kind of stutter a question at it. What do you want?
You find yourself quite suddenly standing in a beautiful marble ballroom gallery of some sort. There are chandeliers overhead. There are mirrors all around. No sign of the pond, no sign of the skeleton, no sign of your companions. And the knight, no longer a statue, is clunk, 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 his armor rattling, clunk, 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 sword drawn back, swinging, ready to lop your head off.
Oh,
This is
Shin Jason.
yeah.
How does this appear to obey her? That's this
This is
like
all happening.
font?
This is happening in the blink of an eye. Before
Oh,
Vaunt can barely even get the words out, this is happening.
oh,
You all won't even experience it as anything.
oh God.
Vaunt, please tell me how you're exposed and roll weak point.
I think I'm exposed because, like, what on the hell is going on? And I'm suddenly away from any help, and there's kind of no option but to fight this thing in order to even figure out where I am.
Indeed.
Never mind,
Roll
get
weak
out of
point.
here. 5.
5. It's an endurance 9. Go ahead and roll combat 1. Good luck getting a 9 on a 6-sided die.
Get a 5. That's a 3.
Give me the first part of the combat.
Yeah, I think as this knight clumps toward him, Vaughn just whispers to Togmalar, his imp, and it lashes out to try and protect him, and so that the knight ends up tackling the imp rather than Vaughn, who just has a few seconds then to compose himself and figure out some kind of strategy.
Combat 2.
Eight, and I got hit.
You got a hit. Give me the next round of the combat. It just stabs you. That's all it does, and that's what it tries to do.
It's the imp Togmalar is quite small, so and the knight is forceful and heavy and is just able to swing through it and ignore this thing attacking it and
Thief. Thief.
swing directly at me. And the blade, it's now not a statue anymore. Right now, it's
just like a man in armor. Yeah.
Yeah. So the blade just kind of, the tip of it just kind of slices across Vaughn's chest, and a line of blood appears.
Thief and blackguard, robber of bodies, defiler of property, consort of demons. Combat 3.
Well, there we are. But I got hit again.
Did you get hit again?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 5. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Describe it.
yeah, I think Vaughn is, with this cut that almost brings him to his senses. That his trained instincts kick in, and his sword comes up, and I think the imp is able to provide a distraction, and as this thing, their swords clash together, but and they're pushing at each other, with that classic kind of dueling thing where their swords are locked together, but the knight just reaches around and whacks with a mailed fist into the side of Vaunt's head, and as he goes down to the side, he goes into a crouch, and as the knight comes in to finish him off, his blade comes up and just finds a weak point in the knight's armor and runs it through.
Note your conditions for your ruin increases so that you can clear those conditions at the same time and you know how to clear them. One is shoulder cut, and the other is banged in the head. Asbel Obeha, by the time you hear Vaunt cry out and you even hear him say, "What do you want?" You just see Vaunt bleeding, head rattled, shaking, staring at a statue of a dead knight laying under the bridge.
Huh.
I think Vaughn just kind of almost like just collapses, sits down in the water, exhausted and just relieved.
Yeah. Frank Obea is gonna rush over to Blunt, taking a look at the statue.
Well, indeed. Let's
Is
go ahead and roll gold 9, see if there's anything there.
I
Vaughn, you
was
can roll
about
gold
to
9.
ask.
Yeah.
Uh, 1.
Yeah, there might be something on the statue of value. There is something of value on the statue. Anyone can say what it is and take the thing, I suppose, whatever it is.
Hmm. Yeah, I wonder if it's. Yeah,
Maybe
I
a
don't know.
particularly fine blade that it was
Hmm.
wielding.
Yeah, maybe the blade itself didn't turn back to.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, yeah, the sword. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's worth a gold. You'll need to
And I
name
think,
this creature as well
yeah,
at some point.
as we're recovering ourselves, I think Vaughn will share out some of the treasure he discovered on the skeleton.
Yeah,
I
Asbel
think
did point out the skeleton.
yeah, I will keep the ornamental rapier I found on the skeleton for myself, but whoever wants the snuff box, the bag of silver, and the sword from the statue.
I'll take the snuff box. That's 1 gold, yeah.
Yeah, I think everything was 1 gold apart from the rapier, which Vaughn's gonna hang on to.
Mhm.
I guess I'll take the bag of silver.
All right, well, if nobody else wants it, I'll take the other sword as well. So I'm carrying 2 valuable swords back.
I mean, I figure you took down that combat
Yeah.
one-handedly, so yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
We can fast forward to the atrium, unless somebody else wants to do something else.
God, I want to figure out what this stone creature is and
Yeah,
like
we need
what
to.
happened to Vaunt because like in an instant like Vaunt is like severely injured.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
Vaunt's like very hurt.
mm,
You're like seeing Vaunt reel
Yeah.
in the water, looking, and you can see the result of this. The statue is now
yeah,
dead, right? Yeah.
yeah. Like, is there like any illusions going on with this, like, or any other types of magic?
I don't need you to make a roll, except to say that if Vaunt tells you what happened, I think it'll be pretty clear there's some kind of magic going on. So,
Okay.
yeah, that seems like it's pretty straightforward inquiry, I think. What kind of magic? Who knows? If you have some skill that will let you identify that type of magic, maybe we can talk then. But if not, I don't think you'd have any reason
I,
to know.
yeah, I could experiment, quite literally to try to like if there's still like magic ongoing, try to
Mm.
undo it through
Mm.
Unravel. Since I do have that
It's pretty
prepared.
dead. It's pretty
Okay.
destroyed. Yeah.
All right. All right. Fair enough. I
So,
get to know nothing.
the atrium. Let me pull up my notes. So, this is what was probably previously a very impressive stone atrium that is now an overgrown ruin. There are dozens of glassless windows permitting the elements and the sunlight. The ceiling in the southeast corner has collapsed. The north part of the atrium, as you sort of like walk in, you'll notice that there is a grand double staircase that sort of goes down, actually, like the atrium is the top of it. And in the center, of the atrium, there's a couple of things. One, you have this. Let me describe it again. So when you walk in, there's a single entrance. If you step inside, and you can see this from outside as well, to your right, there are stairs going down. Directly all the way across to the north, there is a double staircase that goes up to a little like kind of viewing area, a little overlook. And then the ground portion where you're all at is overgrown with vines, ferns, and patches of these really large, beautiful purple flowers. And there's a huge hole, a massive, like 40-foot diameter hole in the center of the atrium. I'm going to just go around the table and ask what everyone does. We'll start with Aspel, since you were most interested in the atrium.
I think she is going to approach the purple flowers.
They're all over, yeah.
Oh, okay. And could I spend a hunt token to find something?
Of course. You will notice you've gotten really good at catching glints of metal in the foliage. There is a beautiful ornamental silver spade in the vines and leaves and flowers. It's worth 1 gold. What are you doing, Vaughn?
I think Vaughn is nursing his wounds, but it seems like a good vantage point would be useful. So maybe he'll start to climb the stairs.
The ones that are at the end that go up to the little viewing area, or the ones that go down below?
The ones that go up to the viewing area.
Yeah.
See, I think I would like to kind of just take that vantage across and see why, what is it that you're viewing from there?
I will tell you as well that as you all enter this space, you have a new sequel here, which is to reach the verdant grotto. Vaughn, you can ask your questions as you go up the stairs, and indeed as you look down from the viewing area. Excuse me.
I think, is there anything I see from this vantage that wouldn't have been apparent from below?
Oh, of course, yeah. Make the hunt roll. What are you doing in the meantime, Obeha?
I'm keeping close to Bond because looks like he's about to pass out at any moment. For people listening in, Vaughn is at 5 ruin. 6 ruin means retirement.
Indeed, it does.
But I haven't marked any armor yet. So.
Yeah, Vaughn has all the armor still. Just don't do any risk rolls, Vaughn.
Yeah. I think as I climb, let's see how this hunt roll goes. I'll go and then I might spend. No, let's do it. Yeah. Looking for that extra die. I don't really have.
You can always pull one of your open slots too.
Yeah. I think
you're not just limited to the 3.
Vaughn might pull a little spyglass out of his pocket and use that to look from up there.
Indeed.
So, because I really don't want to do is lose all my dice at this point. I got a 5 again.
Take your token. I'll tell you as you climb the stairs, you'll notice on the little sort of overlook area, this little kind of viewing platform, essentially, or like a what you call it, like a mezzanine sort of thing. You'll see that there is in the very center of that raised area, you'll notice it first thing, there is a statue of a cloaked man. And as you're using your spyglass to kind of look down and around, you'll see that this big hole in the center of the atrium is drops down. I mean, it's full sunlight out, so you can totally see down there. It drops down what appears to be about 30 feet. And below what it drops down to is a pool of bright green water. I'll also tell you that you can see that that's where the stairs going down also lead. So you could take the stairs to go down there, or you could jump down the hole, I suppose, if you wished. Obeha, what are you doing in the meantime?
Mm.
Oh, one other thing,
Oh.
too. You'll also notice that there are little cherub statues animated floating around the top of the atrium. They are circling and strafing like annoying birds protecting their nest, and they have
Are they,
little tiny bows and arrows. They're not doing
and
anything.
then
They're just
they're not
strafing.
like, they're not attached to something. They are literally flying.
They are literally flying.
Okay.
You can point that out to everybody if you'd like.
Yes, I will. I will make everyone aware.
Indeed. Obeha, what are you
Um,
doing?
I'm gonna spend my hunt token to find a piece of treasure up here on the landing, as like
Yeah.
a font is pointing this out.
Hmm. I will find you something here.
I might do as well, since I have 4 hunt tokens.
That's a lot of hunt tokens. I'll, t- I'll tell you what you all find in a moment. Asbel, what are you doing after you pick up that silver spade?
I think after Vaunt mentions that the stairs go down to whatever that pool is, I think she's gonna start heading down the stairs.
Indeed.
She was gonna fuck around with the flowers a little bit more, and then Vaunt mentions the stairs, and she goes, "Better not," and she'll leave.
Yeah, you can start heading down the stairs. You'll hear a little of those little cherubs, like they're clearly like floating over and watching you as you go down the stairs. But you can keep going. So, as you press forward in pursuit of your goal, do you have any questions for me, or are you just carrying on?
Just carrying. I don't think I have any specific questions. I think I'm just pushing forward down the staircase.
Indeed. The stairs are covered in slick vine and algae. It's getting wetter as you get down, as you get lower, because you are essentially going down into yeah, I mean, like there's this like pool of water down there.
It's kind of
And
like a cenote at this point, you know.
you get down there and it's a space about the size of the atrium itself. There is a sort of stone walkway that the stairs kind of deposit you on, and then there's this big body of water, like very verdant green water, that kind of dominates, and that the walkway kind of goes around on 2 sides, right? And directly across from where you're at, there is a doorway into some other chamber. It's an open doorway. What do you do?
So the walkway leads to that door.
It does indeed, yeah.
Um, I would like to try to go see if the door is locked or
It's
anything
it's
like
it's it's
that.
open. Like it's just a arch. It's just a open doorway. There's no door. It's just a like
Sure.
a passage. Yeah.
Um, can I see anything in that passage?
Make a hunt roll.
Cool. And I'll use one of my candles to aid.
Yeah, because the light's not as good down here, so I think that's fair.
Okay. Pa, pa, pa. A 6.
Nice. Take your token. Um, at the angle and distance you're at, you can't tell exactly what's in the adjoining room, but you can, as you approach, you can definitely see some kind of statue in the room, statuary of some sort. Obeha, what are you doing right now?
I think, as I said earlier, is I spent a whole token to find some treasure. I think I say to Vaughn, I what are these things? What is what are you even doing? Why are all these statues living?
If I were to guess, I would imagine they are protecting something, or perhaps once protected whoever lived here. That one I thought accused me of stealing, which I suppose I am.
Vaunt, did you spend a token?
Yes.
You will find on the ground what appears to be a kind of like polished brass sun like ornament or medallion worth 1 gold. Obeha, did you spend gold as well? Or spend a token as
Yep,
well?
yep.
How many tokens did you spend?
Just to the one.
Hmm. At this point, you're all up on the landing, and you will notice that there is an offering bowl at the base of the statue of the cloaked man. And inside the offering bowl is quite a lot of coin and semi precious gemstones worth 1 gold total.
Damn, the gods don't like me. I take the what's in the offering bowl.
You can scoop it right up. What else are you both doing there? Oh, also, incidentally, as soon as you scoop up the money in the offering bowl, you hear a little thunk as a little stone arrow hits the ground right next to you. Little tiny thing, like the size of a toothpick, but very sharp and very stone. And there's still these 3 little stone cherubs flying overhead. A warning shot, I would say.
You
What do you
see,
do?
Obeya, protecting the treasures of this place.
Yes, I suppose, but fair is fair. And I think I take out one of quote unquote my treasures, a golden piece of chalk, and I will put it in the offering bowl.
To like replace what you took.
Yeah.
Asbel, so you're down below. You can hear this conversation up above. You're walking along this, it's a kind of like L-shaped walkway, right? That's around this like large body of water, this pond down here. And as you go up and go up to the second branch, that's where the doorway is. This little walkway on the north side, which is where you're at now, near the door, there's actually, it juts out just a little bit over the water so that if you wanted to, you could walk out to it and get a better look at what might be in the water.
Yeah, I think she's kind of moving down the walkway and she has her light that she kind of has out in front of her, and she'll try to bend a little bit closer down towards the water.
Make your hunt roll. By the way, you have all reached the verdant, or Asbel, you have reached the verdant grotto and satisfied the set goal.
Cool. Oh, Okay. Another 6.
Oh, very nice. Take your token. I will tell you that there is something very large down there. It could be a big boulder. It could be a big something else. But whatever it is, it's very large. It's at the bottom of this body of water. And you can tell that the body of water is actually quite deep, too. I will also tell you, since this is the theme of the day, that the sun is illuminating the water just right from up above to where you see something glimmering down at the bottom of the well, the water as well. A quick, cool dip, and it can be yours. You've had good luck putting your hands into water and grabbing things. Of course, you'd have to go all the way in to get this.
Oh, I think hearing the conversation upstairs snaps her out of it for a second, and she's like, okay, Vaughn just almost got wrecked. I'm going to go get the other two so they can kind of be here with me while I go in. And she heads back upstairs and says, there's a chamber down there. I think that there might be some treasure to be gained, but there's also something in the water.
Well, I can help with the water part.
Oh?
Yes. However, it really just depends on how well others can cope with it.
What is it you're proposing, Abelia?
I do have rituals that allow someone to breathe underwater. Well, technically to breathe regardless of the environment, but typically it's used for water.
I, for one, have had enough of wading into ponds.
Oh,
That-
to be clear, I could go down. I don't
it-
want you to go after you've already had the experience you've had. Shall we?
Let's do this.
Is everyone going down to at least the bottom landing part, or the like underneath part, or Vaughn, are you staying up top with the cherubs?
I think I'm gonna, yeah, I might stay and keep watch so that I can call down to them if the cherubs start to move in their direction.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So the two of you are going down, and
Yeah.
that's great. You're at the walkway. You can see something down there. You can't tell what it is. It's just like a shape, a vague, large shape. And you might also see some glimmering as well. There's something down there. There's maybe lots of things down there. What's the plan?
Obey has got to start preparing the ritual of tadpole.
Read, what does Tadpole do? Read the text.
Keep your own mouth closed to allow a creature to breathe regardless of the environment.
Oh, I see. So you hold your mouth closed and Asbel
Yeah.
can go down. Is
Yeah.
that the idea?
Yeah. I mean, I technically could affect myself, but I really don't want to go in the water. So I'll.
Sure.
Asbel, you are the sacrifice here. Fantastic. I think this is great. Do the risk roll.
Okay.
It's going to be, well, it's going to be Obeha. Obeha, guide us through it.
Okay. When you attempt a risky task, say what you will hope to happen and ask the GM and other players what could possibly go wrong. I hope that Asbel will be able to just breathe underwater. And I'll be able to cast my ritual without issue.
Interesting. What could go wrong? I mean, it could be like the opposite. Like it could be that the water like not only can you not breathe it, but it like aggressively forces itself into your lungs. Right?
Oh God.
That's my thought. Or it could be, it has to kind of affect you, right, Obeha? So
Mhm.
maybe you, like water sort of like starts filling your lungs in a way that is not good.
Effectively dry drowning.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Any other ideas? I'm open to them.
I think dry drowning's. I don't know if I could be that one.
It's pretty grotesque. I mean, it's really just a matter of like getting ideas for the table. I mean, I also think there could be something like, I mean, I don't know.
Oh,
Mm.
maybe this is a terribly active tadpole and it's really wriggling around in there and you start choking on it and you fall
Mm.
in with Asbel,
Oh,
like while
okay.
you're kind of choking.
Oh, that's okay.
Well,
I
let's
have
keep
things.
going. Get your dice. Let's keep
Sure.
going.
Uh, you're not gonna like how this ritual is going to be performed. Um,
Got it. Keep going.
um, uh, take a light die if you have a skill. I have ritual as a skill.
Yeah.
Um, take another light die if you for accepting a devil's bargain from another player or the GM.
Mm.
I have an idea for that.
Go ahead.
So Asbel is going down there under the protection of this ritual, and I think all of the whatever happens, all of the water that Asbel is breathing in is being transferred into you, Obeya, and you have to kind of belch it out as Asbel is breathing it in.
That's
That's
terrible.
horrifying. I kind of love it. I know. I love that. I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna second that one. I think it's pretty great.
Um, Another option, no matter what, you'll lose your chalk to the water.
Damn. Two, honestly, two equally bad things. I'm not gonna lie. Um, because I love the body horror more than losing resources, I will go with belching out water just to help you breathe.
Two light, one dark.
Uh, I think as I'm preparing this ritual, I think on the subtle, like I think I cut the palm of my hand and I feel like some of what I from that cut into like a sort of little vial and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you, here, drink this.
Mm.
Um, inside the vial
Okay.
is tadpoles.
Okay.
Nice. So tadpoles from your blood is what
Yeah,
Asma has to drink. That's repellent. I love it. Let's
I
get these
mean,
dice.
six dark.
Six dark.
Yo.
Your ruin goes up, and your ruin is from. I think it's because as you're belching up the water, it's just really violent on your body, and so you take like cracked ribs. Like it literally like cracks your ribs as you're like belching out water. I also think as long as you're doing that, you're kind of no use to anyone as you sit over there spitting up water.
Yeah.
But it works, Asbel.
Mhm.
Asbel, you're going in, and it is actually really deep. Like really, really deep. As you sort of like sink down, describe what it's like to become slowly acclimated to the idea, first of all, these tadpoles wriggling around in you, and then also the idea that you can actually breathe the water. What is that like?
Um, I think that she's there under the water, and there's those first couple of seconds where she's just sinking and um still holding her breath. and like she feels that pressure start to build up and start to build up, and in her head she knows she should trust whatever Obeha just did, but it's just getting over that animal instinct of like breathing in water. um and I think when she finally does breathe in, it's weird, it's like coughing, but then the water gets replaced with more water, and it takes like a couple of seconds to get acclimated to like, no, water is actually okay now.
As you're slowly sinking down into this like quite deep reservoir of water, what do you do?
um I think that she is going to try and move closer to where the sun was shining to maybe get a hand on whatever was glittering.
Yeah, go ahead and make a hunt roll.
Okay. Um,
And feel free to ask questions as you wish.
um, as she's down here, um, how big is this thing under the water with her?
Make make the hunt roll.
It's a
You got
second one. That's
Did you have
another
a-
2 hunt tokens gone.
Oh no!
Yep.
It's very big. It is in fact a creature of legend down at the bottom of this cistern of water. It will be noted in the bestiary by its proper name of Grandfather Toad. Grandfather Toad is an enormous toad capable of swallowing you up in one easy gulp. He's called Grandfather because of his quite pronounced long white beard. And you can see all of this pretty easily. The effect of the tadpole ritual is not just to allow you to breathe water, but also to allow you to see better underwater. With just a little bit of light coming in from above, you can make out Grandfather Toad. Indeed, as you get lower and lower, Grandfather Toad getting bigger and bigger, you can also see that Grandfather Toad rests on what appears to be a bed of silver, coins, maybe some gems, a decent amount of treasure, all told. And Grandfather Toad opens a single eye, an eye that's as big as your head, staring directly at you. Grandfather Toad opens his mouth. You, meanwhile, Obeha, are violently coughing up water. What is that like?
I part of the ritual, I must keep my mouth closed. So like it's like one of those coughs where you're trying to suppress it. And so like the water is going up my nose, out of the edges of the mouth where it can't quite remain closed, but I'm trying my best. So like I am like in the fetal position because like I am a beacon for this ritual. And if I stop, Asbel drowns.
Vaunt, the cherubs begin firing their arrows rapidly. They have a seemingly endless supply of them. They are combating you. The only way to fight them is if you have a ranged weapon, and even then it's just your weapon for combat. They are a collective. Collectively, they're only an endurance 6, but I need to know how you're exposed, please.
I'm exposed because I don't imagine there's a whole load of places to take cover on this viewing platform that I'm standing on.
Indeed not. Go ahead and make a weak point, please.
Weak point is 4.
And make your combat 1. You might defeat them. Do you have a ranged
Yeah.
weapon?
I think, well, I've kind of used my imp as a ranged
As a
weapon
weapon,
beforehand,
yeah.
yeah. Oh boy, I immediately took a hit.
Indeed.
Yeah, so I
Which
think
you must mark armor for, if I'm
I
not
must
mistaken.
mark armor for it, yeah.
Give me
Yeah,
the
so
first round of the combat.
I think Vaughn is almost too carefully looking at what on earth Abelia and Asbel are up to down there, and is taken by surprise by the sudden attention of these cherubs, and before he realizes it, his amulet of protection flares, and as an arrow that would have struck him dead is knocked from the air. And yeah, he points and mutters to Togmola to go and deal with these things, swat them out of the sky.
And maybe Tormund is taking his time.
Yeah.
We'll come back to this. Asbel, Grandfather Toad uses his powerful hind legs to propel rapidly at you. What do you do?
Okay. So here's my wild pitch.
Okay.
Grandfather Toad was on a giant pile of treasure.
Indeed.
Grandfather Toad is a creature of legend.
Indeed.
I would like to use my skills in flattery and rituals to ceremoniously offer the silver spade that I just found as a gift to Grandfather Toad.
Oh, I see. This is going to be a risk roll.
Yeah,
Maybe.
sure.
I like the idea of you make your offer before it can attack you. I'm okay with rewinding back to that. Guide us through the ritual, the risk roll, please.
Okay, so the risk roll. I will be taking. Sorry, I'm on combat roll right now. The risk roll. I will be taking a light die for it's something I'm skilled at.
Oh, but
I think really focusing.
What could go wrong?
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, what could go wrong? It's gonna eat me. It's already.
Well,
it's,
we get to say it.
or swallowed.
You are swallowed
Sure.
whole. Yes.
Yeah.
You are swallowed
Sure.
whole.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make it worse and just say Grandfather Toad, although a creature of legend, is just a fucking frog. Like,
He just swallows you whole, and that's that.
Sure.
Um,
That is kind of the risk.
think it is.
He could just be a frog. Okay.
All right, get your dice now.
Totally.
You get a light die for the
So-
spade, so that's settled.
Sure. And I could take a light die for accepting a devil's bargain from another player.
But let's back up. What are you actually hoping? Ultimately, what are you hoping to happen here? Just that he won't eat you, or like what?
Literally, just trying to convince him I'm not a threat,
I
or
see.
not like food. Like I try to placate him.
Got
Of
it.
like, clearly I've stepped into your territory, and I'm sorry.
I got it. Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I just go ahead, Chaotic and Rob, if you have any thoughts. I'm still thinking.
no matter what, if you do survive this, you will take the curse of the frog.
Oh, interesting. Grandfather Toad's curse. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking something along similar lines. Is no matter what, if you survive this, you're going to have to make like regular tribute to
Regular
Grandfather
tribute
Toad.
obeisance. I kind of like the idea of the curse as well. The curse of Grandfather Toad, because like even if you placate him now, just the mere fact that you had the temerity to step into his lair, right?
Absolutely. I love the curse of Grandfather Toad. I think that's
Fantastic.
great.
You have 2 light dice. You gotta take a dark die. I think that's
Yep. Sure. A 6.
Nice, 6 light. Let's pick back up with Vaunt, however. Vaunt, please go ahead and give me that combat 2. You need to get 8. Or no, 6. Only 6.
I got 7 and I didn't get hit.
Nice.
So I think, yes.
Please narrate defeating them.
Yeah, the imp just soars through the air and is swats arrows aside and then just drags these things down to the ground and smashes their stony bodies from the floor.
Nice. Make a gold 6 roll. See if they had anything left over of value.
2 gold.
Wow, there's something really good with these things. Think on what it is. You'll have to name them at some point too. Obeha, you're still violently choking up, coughing up water. If you have not noted the condition, cracked ribs, please do so.
I have.
Asbel, give us the scene. How do you make nice with Grandfather Toad right now? Or at least so he doesn't eat you.
Sure. I think that like we kind of rewind back a little bit. She's floating down and kind of floats past the wide yellow eye of Grandfather Toad and immediately recognizes what she's done wrong. And without thinking, she keeps dropping and as to the best of her ability underwater, she is kneeling and offers the silver spade up before it begins to pounce. And I think like it moves out of the ready to pounce position and is just kind of doing like a frog walk forward towards her.
Indeed. And you hear in your mind, it speaks to you. Who dares enter my grotto? Who dares enter my lair without my permission?
She freezes up and she says, I am Asbel, tender of the shrines, cursed by the witch, here an attendant in your lair.
Which witch do you speak of? Do you speak of the woman Prem?
No, the witch of Navask.
This name is known to me, the witch of Navask. You are a servant of this witch?
Unwilling.
Then you bear my ill favor. Leave this place.
And she'll
and tell your mistress to never again send her minions into my realm.
And she nods and places the spade out in front of her, and I think kicks off the ground and gets out of there as quickly as possible.
Indeed. You can help Obeha
Sure.
recover a little bit.
She gets out of the water and goes, in the water is not the right option. First it got Vaunt fucked up by a statue, and now I bear the ill favor of a mythical toad. So unfortunately, here we are.
Indeed, I think it's Obeha's injuries that eventually force you back to camp.
Yeah.
If there's any last token spends, you can do them now. Otherwise, you can save them for another delve. But if you've met your burdens and you're good, then there's nothing else to do there. Vaughn, what'd you take off of the cherubs?
I think I put it as stone feathers.
Oh, nice. Okay, good. I like that.
And I also have 3 hunt tokens remaining, which I will cash in if I may.
You're gonna cash in all of them?
Yep.
I think you can take a whole cherub.
Nice.
Whatever you name these creatures. Yeah. it's worth 3 gold to the right buyer. I'm sure Company Commander Nervon will really, really love it. So, yeah. Any other expenditures before we go? Has everyone met burdens?
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
Just.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I've come out of this loaded.
Vaunt are great. Yeah, those ones. The ones on the hunt rolls were vicious tonight. Fantastic. You all have learned a lot about the manor grounds of Abelia Prem. You can share whatever information you want with the rest of the company because there will be other treasure hunters coming here, maybe even some of you again. Please, at this time, go ahead and erase 2 gold worth of treasure or money, so meeting your burdens. And I will see you all on Discord.